It's media day for Top Tier's Flawless Show, and I am joined by ANEES TAJ, who is making his Top Tier debut. It's great to have you on the show. How are you feeling about this one?
Feeling good. We've got a good opponent locked in now, so trying to get a title locked in. But I'm looking forward to being on Top Tier. I've been to a couple of shows before, and I love the work that Top Tier and Johnny Clark are doing. So it's nice and a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, and obviously it's going to be live on DAZN, so a big platform for you to showcase some skills.
Get back out. Obviously been on Sky before when things didn't go my way. So it's good to be on a platform where I could showcase the changes that myself and my coach have made since those last fights. So everyone remembers me from those fights. So now let's see if I look anything like that. Hopefully I won't.
Yeah, because obviously you've stepped up to elite level. It didn't pay off, but do you feel like you've learned and developed from that, and you've come back from those? But how much have you learned from those sort of situations that you were in?
I've learned a lot. The age-old saying, "It's not a loss, it's a lesson." It couldn't have rung true for me. Going into the first Vidal Riley fight, for example, it was my first time. I'd been on Sky before, but I'm boxing someone who's at the same level, if not a level higher than what I'd used to, but similar level to what I was, right? And I had to go in there, and I was fighting myself as well as him, because I had to prove things to the wider community. The Asian community itself is one where you have issues. If you don't do so well, people talk. So you're fighting the opponent, you're fighting yourself, as well as the community. You're trying to prove to everyone, I belong here, rather than, why didn't you go and just be a lawyer? That's what everyone was saying, oh, you should have just been a lawyer. So I was like, I've got to prove it to everyone. So I learned a lot from what I did wrong, what I did right, and just soaking up the whole occasion. The rematch, there was issues outside of boxing along with that, and in the first fight, but tried to rein it in, and it wasn't ideal for me and my coach at the time. It was our first fight together. It wasn't ideal having a big fight as a first fight, but he learnt a lot from me. He knows now, he can't tell me, it don't matter if we don't win the first fight, the first round, it doesn't matter. He knows if I tell that to ANEES is not going to go and do anything. We're going to look bad. So now he knows how to process everything with me, knows what to tell me and what not to tell me.
Do you feel like now you've experienced that, on a huge platform, huge stage, elite level opponent, do you feel like now you're sort of ready for anything, no matter what's thrown at you in a fight?
Yeah. Now, having the ability to adjust and adapt in a fight was something that took me a little bit longer. In the amateurs, I could do it. In the beginning of my pro against journeymen, I could do it. But when you're fighting someone of the same level or a higher level, it's a little bit, by the time you've adapted, as we've seen with Tyson Fury Usyk, by the time you've adapted, they've already adapted. So it's a chess game as well as pugilism. We've got to be able to adjust. Oh, I've made an adjustment and he's already adjusted to it, or he's read it ahead. So we've got to be able to work in those ways. So what has happened from them is I've been able to process my brain quicker, and it's affected a lot in training. We train differently now to what we used to. Before it used to be just pure grit, pure heart and pure strength. Whereas now we're trying to develop everything. We're developing the footwork, the defence and all sorts. So I don't want to go into it too much, but on fight night we'll see, ANEES TAJ, rather than just Braveheart coming forward, throwing big shots. If that has to happen, it will. But we'll be seeing a lot of good boxing as well.
And how are you and your team gelling now, and how different is it now? You've had a bit of time.
It's a lot better. For example, we've got the nutritional side of things. We've got that set. Peter Miller works with a lot of 1FC fighters, a lot of boxers as well, and that's helped me. Before I used to walk around at 93 kilos and fight at 91. Now I walk around at 104, 105, and struggle to get down. We still get down. We do it the right way, but as we can see, like from the Vidal Riley fight, I made the weight, but when I rehydrated, I looked like the Michelin man. That's the nicest way to say it to myself. I looked fat and plodgy, which we don't want. So that's working well. Me and Kieran, we're working it well. He knows how to push me, where to push me hard, how not to do. if I might be running tonight, he might not push me as hard as he might do if I'm not running. So we're working well, and because we've got the experience of now 5 fights together, he knows how to react to me and how I'll respond to certain things. He could blow up in my face and he knows I'm going to go out there and Braveheart's going to come out, or he knows he can be calm and ANEES TAJ will be there, the nice boxing. So he knows how to invoke a reaction from me.
So now, you know, we're in a new year, 2025, you're on this show in February. Are you looking to put on a statement to showcase that you're ready to go on, you know, the title fights and the big things to come?
Yeah, so this, God willing, inshallah, it'll be a good fight. It's a 10-rounder. The one thing we said is even if we don't get a title, it still needs to be a 10-rounder to enable me to fight for titles in the future. We had issues where they were putting it on because I was a home boxer, notwithstanding with ANEES, he hasn't done 10 rounds before. So we're getting the benefit of the doubt from the organisations who were willing to approve it, but the British board won't approve any opponents. So now, moving forward, I've got to put a statement on. I've got to win this fight. And it's the first one. The guy we've got now all locked in, he was the WBC youth champ. So he's a high-level opponent. And it's that step up that we need. It's not so big a step up like Vidal Riley was. Vidal Riley was elite level, British level, that sort of, you know, going on to moving past that. Now we're going on to that gradual step. He is the bridge, to that gap between where I was to where I want to be and where I should be. He's that bridge to that gap. So beat him, then we step up, and then we look at if we could get out. Ramadan's in March, so we can't think about March, April time. We're looking at May. If we could get a title, whether it's an international title, whether it's an Asian title, we're viewing whatever possibilities we can get. We've got a lot of things working. As I've said to the team, Johnny Clark included as well, we've had chats and it's like, let's get through this first one, then we look forward. There's no point looking past his opponent because we don't know what he'll bring on the day. If he brings something a bit different, it might mess up our plans. If I'm already looking past him to 2 fights down the line, I'm getting this title. Forget about that. It's Pavel Harivnak in front of me. That's who I'm looking at. And then after that, in the evening, once we've won, leave the ring, what are we doing next?
Well, in that case, what goes down and what happens on February the 9th?
Doesn't go 10 rounds.
We're going to see a stoppage?
We're going to see a stoppage, and we're going to see a destructive stoppage. What I envision is 5th or 6th round, he's going to be. He won't be there in 8 rounds. By the 5th or the 6th, I'm going to knock him out, and it's going to be a naughty knockout.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. Best of luck for February 9th. Make sure you don't miss it.